the Sacred Heart, grade 10, and Madame McGilvery, thank you for the chance to share a little bit of my story and to show you my favorite walking spot on the shore of Lake Huron. My job is to tell you a little bit about how I became involved in the cause of human trafficking or slavery. The quote that first struck me came from a book I was reading to a class of grade 4 students in Sunday school. It was the story of William Wilberforce and how he emancipated all the slaves in his country in 1833. The last sentence of the book read like this: "Isn't it too bad that there are more slaves in the world right now than in the entire 400 years of the Atlantic slave trade?" As soon as I read that, I thought, I have to check that out to see if it's true. But I forgot when I got home until a couple days later. And that little Google search directed me to the information I needed to learn about what was really going on in the world and how our reality here is nothing like the reality of those who suffer grinding slavery every day in every corner of the world. And most prolific, of course, in India and in Africa and in Asia. And it felt like my responsibility to learn more and to do something. So I read a little bit more and found out that for you and me in our country, we are passing slaves every time we use a 400 series highway in Toronto. There are little captives in the backs of cars and trucks being sent town to town, kept underfed and under-rested so that they comply, and they're coerced into selling their bodies for sex. They do not keep the money. They are enslaved in the most brutal, vicious kind of slavery, and most of them never escape, and most of them are never even looked for, because pimps know how to target the most vulnerable among us. Runaways who used to find their way to soup kitchens in Toronto are harvested now by pimps before they even make it to a shelter. This kind of speaks to me, because I know what they're focusing on kids really your age. The 14-year-old, the 15-year-old or younger are targeted because of their vulnerabilities. And they're exploited in a manner that is just so vile and so crippling that they can't get out. And we know now that these pimps can target a vulnerable girl in about 5 or 10 minutes of conversation. They can usually tell by her mannerisms if she's been previously exploited or she's weak for some reason, and they employ a tactic that works on so many of us, in that they apply attention and affection and love, and until they have managed to have that girl cooperate with certain activities that compromise her, and her emotions are also involved until her compliance is twisted kind of a love and exploitation that she is fully in the grip of and can't escape. And that is, I think that is common to so many young people who are exploited, where they feel they are complicit in what's going on. They may even feel that is a decision they made for themselves, and they'll defend that. And that's manipulation at the earliest and most diabolical kind of a root. It mangles the souls of young people so that they feel like they have to defend this evil in their life rather than fight against it and escape and be free. And that is our job. The older you get, the more you realize life's not about you, it's about what you can do for the next generation. So I feel that it is incumbent upon me, a mom of 3 daughters, to make sure that as many children who have been exploited and lied to are liberated and loved. And it moves my heart. Probably the most satisfying part of doing this work is seeing other people who are interested in linking arms in it and getting projects done. There's nothing more satisfying than last April when I got to watch an airplane at Kincardine Airport take off with 2 grade 9 students to fly to Ottawa, Ontario, and interview MP Joyce Smith regarding her historical landmarking legislation to, for the first time in Canadian history, make the sale of sex illegal in this country. It's never been done before, and yet she did it So these girls got to interview MP Joy Smith, and now it is up to us to make sure that Bill C-36, which is now a law, the Exploited Persons and Safe Communities Act, is upheld in our country with the next election. So there's political activism, and there's an activism of the heart, and there's a way to link arms in community to become something we could not be on our own. It's bigger than we are, and I think it's our calling. I have a few more clips I'm going to throw into this video. I hope you enjoy just seeing some of our celebration of what our small acts of devotion and love can bring about. It really brings about community for us. Sometimes I think I'm the one blessed, more so than anyone else in the whole work of it. And it would be a delight for me to know that as you study this subject, that you would find others' stories inspiring to you, so that the way God created your heart and all the talents you have will be put to the greatest use, and that you might have the greatest joy in serving the purposes that matter most. God bless you.